Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. And in this video, we're going to have a look at clarifying our manifestation. So anything that we're manifesting is always just seen as a goal, because in a sense it is a goal, because what manifestation is a reflection of what is going on within inside you. So when we look at things like abundance and we look at things like love and all of those areas in our life, we will have a point of traction where we are actually in that kind of frequency or in that kind of flow of what it is that we are attracting into our life. So how we get into that point of attraction is to become whatever it is that we are attracting. So this can be done even when we don't have a good self-concept, and that is why we can attract things into our lives when we are maybe at a low point and we attract a new relationship or all of these type of things, because it's not that we have to have this perfect self-concept in order to attract it, but we get into this kind of momentum in the moment for when we are attracting it, and that is how we start to experiencing it in our reality. Now the key then is how we maintain it and sustain it, and that is where the self-concept starts coming in. So we can attract things into our life and everything can be great, but if we start to, I suppose, look at things from a negative perspective, we will start to show up in a negative way in our behaviors and our habits. And this is where our manifestation can get a little bit unraveled, because we're not clear in our intentions. So for anyone who has any experience, for instance, in maybe manifesting money or relationships or anything in that area, and you have this experience where you manifested it, but then over a period of time it kind of unraveled, the unraveling will be because we kind of doubted ourselves. So manifestation, when we look at it from an instant perspective, it's just a decision and sticking to a decision in the moment. But because we're human and our brain kind of jumps from different things all of the time, it will jump into all of these doubts. And so that is how our nervous system regulation and everything comes in, because it's how we actually turn these doubts into a positive for us, in a sense that we are allowing ourselves to understand that if we are triggered, well, then there's just something that I just need to soothe within myself. Maybe I do need to process things that maybe happened in my past. This is where we look at limiting beliefs, and this is where we identify things that may have been traumatic in our reality, and maybe we go to therapy and things like that. So when we do these things, we are not just, building our health up and our mental health up. We're also looking after our inner being, our intuition. We're connecting back into that kind of purity of our soul. And when we get back into that purity of our soul, everything that we are creating then is more authentic. So this is where when everything is more authentic, we can have a thought from a conscious thought, which will be in line with the subconscious thought. And then that is how the synchronicities occur. And then you're in the right place at the right time. You're actually attracting opportunities and people and places and things to you at the right time, because you have gathered that level of awareness in your, I suppose, your life journey, we could say. So when we actually look at anything that we are creating in our life, a lot of the time we will look at it and think, oh, well, this just sounds like a big load of process, or it sounds like I have to do a whole load of work in order to get to the place that I want to be. And while if you are somebody who wants to live a lifestyle of continuing to learn about yourself and continuing to dig deeper into yourself, or maybe you're someone who wants to grow more and develop more, well, then of course you're going to show up every day and you're going to actually be aware of these things, and you're going to want to actually do that. But maybe you're someone who does not want to do all of those things, and so you can simply make a firm decision about where you are in the moment, and if sticking to that will help you to actually create I suppose, whatever reality that you are creating. So when we say decision and we stick to it, it's like an unwavering type of thing. It's like making a decision to go to the shop and get bread because you need bread. So that's just a no-brainer. And you make the decision and you go and you do it. It's the same thing with whatever it is that you're creating. However, when we don't do it on a regular basis, our brain it doesn't know what to do. So it starts to go back over dates and wondering about whether we can do it or not. And so that's when we lose clarity and we start hopping from one manifestation or things to the other. So the other day in the live, we were talking about how to incorporate our manifestation, if it seems a little bit bigger or it seems like a big step at the moment, into everything that we do. And we were looking at it from the perspective of a CEO position in a job. So if you're someone who wants a CEO position and you start out in the company as an intern, for instance, you're at the very, very bottom there and you are looking at this whole goal of being a CEO. So saying affirmations like, I am a CEO, I am a CEO, is going to help with your mindset, yes, but it's not going to help with you going into work every day and conditioning yourself into knowing that you are an intern and you actually have to level yourself up to all of these positions before you get to CEO. So when we are actually saying these affirmations, the affirmations are there to help us with our confidence and to rewire the brain, but we also want to be incorporating it into everything that we do. So if I'm an intern at the moment, but let's say I am affirming that I'm a CEO, my reality is telling me that I'm an intern. So I want to actually mix it in with the CEO. And so I would think to myself, okay, if I'm a CEO, I'm going into work as an intern, but what would I wear as a CEO? So if I'm a CEO, well, then I'm going to make sure that I am groomed. I'm going to have my clothes. If I don't have a uniform, well, then I'm going to make sure that I'm dressed well, no matter the job, because it doesn't matter how low the job is. You can dress as well as you want for any job if that is what you want to do, if you don't have a uniform. So you have this kind of persona. You're saying that I'm a CEO. You're waking up in the morning as a CEO. You're reading books about being a CEO. You're reading books about being a manager. Maybe you're doing courses, all of this kind of thing while you are actually still an intern. And what this kind of does to the brain is that you're getting up in the morning, you might be walking into the job with the mindset of the CEO, studying the CEO, and you have all of these skills that you were creating within you. And you will find that as you go in as an intern, not only are you progressing, you might actually progress faster because of the knowledge that you are gaining from what you are doing every single day to build this up. So this is why when we say manifestation is instant, is because of what we decide. So if I decide I'm going to be a CEO and that's just it, it doesn't matter if I'm an intern or if I'm actually in a job position or if I'm in other job positions. The end goal is the CEO. And so it's not that we are, discarding everything in our reality. We're still engaging with our reality, but with the mindset of showing up every day as a CEO. So I get up in the morning, I do whatever studying I do or whatever I read or mindset or self improvement. Maybe I'm reading books on that. How can I be better? We start to kind of analyze ourselves. We show up in a better way. We're doing routines and habits that are incorporating this idea of a CEO. So this means that when I get up and I go into my job as an intern, I'm not just an intern, because even if you look at someone who's a CEO, and a CEO is like the owner of a business or whatever kind of position that they have in that business, but they will be somebody who has to know everything that's going on. So they still have to know. I mean, maybe they don't have to know, but if you wanted to know, if you want to be a good CEO, you want to know everything that's going on within the business. So you're going to want to know what's going on at the lower level just as much as the high level, if it's something that you are passionate about. So it's all inclusive, and it's just about seeing yourself in a different way while you are working towards it in that kind of sense. So another thing as well too I wanted to say is that it's not that it takes years and years and years in order to do this. The years and years and years are only going to come in because of the level of commitment and consistency that we are putting into ourselves every day. So if I am showing up one day as a CEO, but then I just don't bother doing any affirmations or reading up on books or studying or doing anything like that, and I just focus on being the intern, I'm going to be just focusing on an intern and I'm showing up as an intern. So it's not the same kind of thing when we think about, it'll take me longer to get to this position, or it'll manifest quicker if I think in the mindset of a CEO. It's just about the kind of balance of understanding that you make the decision on who it is that you want to be and you stick to it. And then from that point, everything will kind of unfold in a way that, you know, you may not even be able to comprehend. There can be positions that show up that come to you. The opportunities will come to you because your work is so valuable. The way that you show up in your job, you know, your work ethic, your time management, and all these kind of things, they're all very, very important when it comes to whatever it is that you are creating in your career. And this is just an example of a job, or an example of how we incorporate everything into the manifestation, no matter where we are. It's the same with money as well too. And I saw this quote in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and it was about, you know, abundance and having abundance. And the main secret of having abundance was to be somebody who was able to produce wealth. It's not that you are not somebody who cannot attract wealth. Of course you can, but we attract wealth all the time in different things. And it's about maintaining and sustaining that wealth. And how you maintain and sustain it is to provide it in a way that is just who you are. It's the same with love and relationships and everything like that. It's who you're providing, it's who you are that's showing up, and how you are providing that kind of area of your life from your own kind of effort and everything as well, that ultimately starts attracting it and maintains and sustains it in your reality as well. So I just thought I'd do a quick video on that. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, and I will chat to you soon.